Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This reading is for the full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio taking place May 15th into the 16th overnight. I think it's around midnight that this takes place. And if you're not familiar with my channel, I do full moon and new moon readings every month for the collective. It's just my way of kind of getting an energy checkup for all of you around these times. You don't have to have, in this particular case, you don't have to have Scorpio anywhere in your chart at all in order to watch this reading. Basically, this is open to everybody during this particular time. Now, full moon time is a time where we release, let go, we purge, we get rid of things that aren't working in order to create space and make room for new things to enter. So a lot of times during full moon energy, we're letting stuff go, but it's purposeful, right? In order to welcome new things in. And it's just part of the process of change and transformation, where we're kind of like shedding old things in order to renew and restore ourselves once again. So this particular full moon I'm extra curious about because it's a lunar eclipse and it's super powerful. It happens to also be in the sign of Scorpio, which is my zodiac sign. So I'm like extra curious what's going on here. So let's go ahead and get into it. For you who, again, welcome to my channel if you're new. For those of you who don't really know how I do these readings, again, I grab oracle cards to kind of like be the theme of the full moon, and I'll use that as the main energy, and then I'll use tarot cards afterward. So let's start with the fortune reading cards to see what the main energy of this full moon in Scorpio is all about. So let's see. Full moon, lunar eclipse, there we go, in Scorpio. What is this energy all about? What is the theme of this full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio taking place May 15th into the 16th? Let's see. Whoa, okay. So we have the Chariot energy, and it says, charge ahead with confidence, stay strong and focused. The feeling that just gave me was to not let anything kind of like steer you away from your focus or what you've decided or what you chose with this full moon energy to let go and move forward with. That's what that's telling me. Let's grab a Healing with the Angels cards as well, maybe to add another layer to this, and then I'll grab the tarot. So let's see. Full moon lunar eclipse. What? Can that get any more like synchronistic? Focus. You see that? So that just confirmed what I was feeling. Basically, don't let anybody or anything or any situation steer you off your focus, right? Stay strong and focused. Don't let anything distract you away from it. Don't allow things, people, places, and situations to kind of convince you out of what you've chosen to do or chosen to move forward with this full moon. The Chariot card is also giving me this feeling of like a tug and a pull, okay? You might feel that tug and pull within yourself. One aspect of yourself might be saying to do this, and then another part of yourself might be saying, well, what about this? Maybe consider this instead. And you might have that internal debate within yourself. And you might also try to talk yourself out of what it is that you decided. And if it's not an internal thing, then it could be external from you. It could be other people, places, situations, and things, like I said, trying to convince you or talk you out of something you've decided already. But the thing is, the feeling is here, move forward with your focus. You have, right, or you should be very confident with your choice, or with what your intuition is nudging you to do, even though aspects of self might try to talk you out of what your intuition knows to be best for you, because that can happen. Right? We can go through that the internal fight within ourselves all the time. The thing is, the Chariot is one of those energies where it's like it wants to harness its energy, it wants to move forward, it wants to be forward focused, it wants to take control, right? And harness its energy to move forward without looking back. And it's very hyper focused on what it sees and knows and senses is up ahead. That's why it moves in the direction of it. It's also an energy to me that leaves the past in the dust, right? It leaves it in the dust and it does not have time to look backward anymore. So the other feeling that this is giving me is that this full moon is forward focused, future forward focused. There's no looking back. Like the past is really done and gone. It's only forward from here, only up from here. And that's it. It's fully behind you now. This full moon is going to be where the past gets buried once and for all. You've fully transformed into this newer version of you with this full moon. And those aspects of self have been, those old aspects of self, of the past you, those aspects have been fully shed. And they don't apply where you're going now. If you've made the choice to move forward with something, stick to your convictions. If you're debating still whether to move forward with something that your intuitive energy and divine spark has been nudging you with, right? And that little aspect of fear has been bothering you and nudging at you or trying to talk you out of it, tell it to shut up, right? That's the feeling that this is giving me. Tell it to shut up and ignore it, because your intuition and your divine spark within knows what's best. Move forward with that and don't let anything convince you out of it. Stay focused. You have every right to be confident during this time as you charge ahead, like the card says. As you charge ahead, stay strong and focused, because you got this. This is the full moon where you take charge of your forward trajectory. And it's kind of also this feeling of good luck to anybody who tries to get in your way. They might get run over by those horses on the Chariot card. Okay, so let's grab the tarot. This is the Angel Tarot, Angel Influence Tarot. Reminds me of Mr. T, right? And I'm an 80s kid. So Mr. T used to say, I pity the fool, right? Well, I pity the fool that gets in your way. I pity the fool who has the audacity to try to convince you out of what your inner being already knows to be the truth, right? Or tries to kind of like sabotage what you know is your truth. Good luck to them. Because the feeling is here, they won't stand a chance. Your focus with this full moon is too strong, or your sense of direction is too powerful, right? Your intuitive knowing and nudge is too powerful to ignore with this full moon. You're not going to be able to ignore the forward trajectory that you are being placed on the path to pursue. Okay. Boldly. The other feeling is boldly go in the direction of your focus. Okay, what was that? Hold on here. We have the Knight of Cups. Look at that. High Priestess. Hold on. Let's see. Whoa, what else do we have here? Look at all this forward movement energy. We have the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Swords. The World, the Ace of Wands, and the Wheel of Fortune. Holy cow, guys. Whoa. And I'm sorry for the glare. This is so cool. All right. So again, Knight of Cups, moving and going in the direction of its heart. All right. It falls in line very much also with the Scorpio energy of this lunar eclipse full moon. So you have Knight of Cups moving in the direction of its heart. Knight of Swords is an energy that moves in the direction of its focus because it holds the sword of truth. So again, you moving in the direction of your heart's calling, your personal truth with these two energies right here. And your intuitive nudges from spirit, High Priestess. She is the energy that navigates her experience, right? Through her inner being and knowing. She helps interpret the signs, the synchronicity, and the voice of spirit within, the divine spark within, to help navigate her physical experience. Everything is always with the High Priestess. Everything is always from the outside or the inside out. Okay. So she is able to navigate her physical everyday life and experience, the external world, via her intuitive inner knowing and GPS system of the soul, which is her intuitive understanding and wisdom. Having connection to that helps, right? You, or let's say you're taking on the energy of the High Priestess, helps you move forward in the direction of your heart and follow through with your focus in the direction of the things on your heart. So if very, very, very much falls in line with what I was saying. The world energy is the completion of a cycle, right? I was saying how this full moon in Scorpio is really putting the past behind you, so you can move forward in the direction of your calling, maybe even with the High Priestess, your soul's purpose, your heart's desire, your focus and truth. You are really closing out an old chapter that's pretty much done and over with, and it has no bearing on where you're headed and where spirit is trying to take you next. The World card is saying that you've completed, you've graduated, you leveled up, you finished that cycle of learning, you finished that level in the game, and now it's time to kind of like close that out fully. This full moon is bringing all of that to a close. I feel like this is also confirming that you've learned to listen to your heart. You've learned to follow through with your intuitive nudges. And now there's like, once you know you can't unknow, once you know you can't unknow it, is also the feeling here. The World card is a major graduation, congratulations card. You've learned all you needed to learn from that last cycle and experience and chapter in your journey. Right? It's a card of applying what you've learned and having it as wisdom, right? With the High Priestess especially, for future experiences. This last cycle has definitely been a chapter of personal growth, so you can move on to the next level. You can get that upgrade in your journey. You know, because life itself is always about growth. Leveling up into the next better, best, right version of ourselves. You fully transformed. And now you can close out that chapter fully, completely. And not only that, you have a World card here, which says this has been a successful completion of a cycle in your journey. You're done. It doesn't matter if the cycle was difficult or not, right? Because it doesn't matter what the cycle itself consisted of. The point is you leveled up from it. You've graduated from it. You learned everything that you needed to learn from that experience in that chapter in your journey. It's time to close that out. This full moon is doing that. So you can move forward into this brand new energy, right, of the Ace of Wands, which is the divine spark within. Getting lit. It's like spirit lighting a fire in you to pursue something. New ideas getting sparked. And again, the whole theme of this full moon is for you to move forward with your focus. And the Ace of Wands is that idea that spirit placed inside of you, lit inside of you, inspired you with. Right? The divine spark gets lit within, and we have to pursue it. It's the initiation. It's the beginning. It's new energy. So you close something out to enter into the new here with the Ace of Wands. And what does it do? It changes things. It changes your course. It puts you on the path to your destiny with the Wheel of Fortune. Puts you on the path to what is meant for you. I call the Wheel of Fortune the Wheel of Change because it's that energy where sometimes there's curveballs, twists and turns, right? And sometimes it's an energy of while we're experiencing a shift and a change, we're feeling like we're up in the air. And it's because I always use the analogy of like being in the casino. You have the wheel, the roulette wheel, and it's turning and spinning, and the ball is kind of like, you have no idea where it's going to land. And for that short moment of time while the ball is up in the air, you're surrendering to the process, or you should be surrendering to the process of where it's taking you. And oftentimes during that time of where we feel kind of out of control, it could go either way. It's really spirit, kind of like the universe shifting us in the direction of what's meant for us and what's best for us, and colliding us with those things, right? Putting us on the path to collide with these things. So the guidance is here. Don't let anything or anyone, not even yourself, convince you or talk you out of what it was that you decided to move forward with, especially if it was an idea. Ace of Wands, maybe a creative project or something that spirit lit up inside of you. Like there's a fire to pursue something important to you, or that's even part of your soul purpose and mission over here with the High Priestess. So you want to have confidence in yourself, confidence in the universe, God, creator, spirit, the higher self within, right? Have confidence to move forward with that intuitive knowing, because what it's doing is helping you shift out of the old aspects of you that may have held yourself back in a place of fear, right? It's helping to catapult you out of that and into new things that are meant for your future path. You moving forward with it is also shifting things where they need to be. And oftentimes, right, like I say, the Wheel of Fortune is also one of those energies where like things fall off the wheel, right, in order to make room for new. That's exactly what this full moon is doing. It's closing out the old so you can make room for the new. And the Wheel of Fortune is putting you on the path to receive the new, with the Ace of Wands especially. Now that the world, right, that chapter is here and concluded itself. Done. Bye. Right? That's how it feels. Done. Goodbye. Transformation complete. The old me, like the feeling is the old me doesn't exist anymore, right? Like I'm new now with the Ace of Wands. The feeling is here, a more empowered you. A more empowered you. A more evolved you. Where you take power into your own hands, where the Ace of Wands is feeling like a magician's wand. Where you now have the power to create magic in your life and move in the direction of it. You know what this is also telling me? The power to say no. Right? Sometimes we got to love ourselves enough to say no to other people's demands on our time and energy. That Ace of Wands is giving me the feeling of being empowered enough to say no and then do what you want anyway. Go forward with what you've chosen anyway. And as a result of like empowering yourself this way, the Wheel of Fortune, like is changing and shifting things for you because now you've stood in your power. That is, yeah, that Ace of Wands right there is feeling super powerful that way. Because it's feeling like a magician's wand, but it's also feeling like a staff, right? Think of Gandalf when he throws the staff down, right? And he says, "You shall not pass." That's what this is giving me. It's giving me that movie clip of the Lord of the Rings with Gandalf throwing down his staff, like pounding it into the ground, and it sets off like an explosion, right? Look at the card. It sets off like an explosion, and it's like, you shall not pass. So setting healthy boundaries as well to move forward with what you've chosen, or what you are deciding for yourself is your truth, and what your heart's desire is. Saying no to the things and people, places, and situations that would get in the way of that. You know, it has the Wheel of Fortune, right? The Wheel of Fortune, the word fortune is in the Wheel of Fortune card. And oftentimes the Wheel of Fortune, things shift and change. We don't always see it, right? Because we're like the ball that's up in the air, hasn't quite landed yet. But oftentimes it leads us to better things, and it's only hindsight that we can see why it led us to where we're at, or for what reason. It's only hindsight that we can see how it all worked out for our good. So I feel like this full moon is also telling you to empower yourself to stick to what you intuitively know is your truth and the best thing for you and your well-being. And that little voice that speaks to your heart. Because it's going to change and shift things for you in a very empowering way. It's going to help you step into your own magic, help you take charge of your life, and be in control, right, of your destiny and the outcomes that you wish for yourself. You're not, the feeling is here, you're not obligated to anything or anyone anymore. You're obligated to yourself and the journey that you choose for yourself moving forward. So this full moon in Scorpio, this full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio is going to empower you that way. That old aspect of self at one time that might have just said yes to everything or anyone, or caved in, right? I don't think that's going to be the case anymore. I feel like a healthy boundary energy being placed now moving forward out of love for self. And that can, sometimes we let our guard down a lot for, a job, or the people sometimes that we love even, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to help somebody, right? And saying yes. There's nothing wrong with saying yes to people, right? But there comes a point where you got to be mindful, right? Are you saying yes to the expense of yourself? Like they say, self-care isn't selfish. So that's the feeling here, right? To just, you're taking control back, doing what you feel is best for you, your heart, your mind, and stepping into your personal power as a result of that. Which also empowers you with the Ace of Wands to open yourself up to new things, new doors, and new possibilities, new action, right? new inspired action. Wands are all about your spiritual inspiration and the motivation, drive, ambition that you have to initiate something and follow through with it. So if those old parts of yourself that at one time feared or had a hard time saying no, right? That's not you anymore. You're moving forward, fearing less, saying no more often to preserve yourself, and taking inspired action in the direction of those things that speak to you, because you're feeling more empowered and confident in yourself and what you're capable of doing and achieving. And it's going to change things. Now that you're empowered, it's going to change things for you. You're not held back anymore, is what this full moon is also saying. And now that you're empowered this way, watch how things change to accommodate this new vibration that you're taking on. This new version of you that you've become. Wheel of Fortune, right? Yeah. It's like moving you, shifting you in the direction of these things that now match the vibration that you have assumed. And this vibration feels very empowered, self-assured, confident, fearing less, stronger, more focused, more determined, more ambitious. More magical, right? The magic wand of the Ace of Wands. You have so much more wisdom now with the High Priestess energy. You've gained so much knowledge and wisdom that you have evolved and leveled up in a way that it kind of feels like was long awaited. Like the feeling is the universe was waiting for you to get to this place of self-empowerment, self-love. So it now can move you in the direction of the things that are meant for you. And that you're destined to achieve, receive, and accomplish. So, let's see. It says moderation and self-control. Yeah, that makes sense, right? Setting healthy boundaries. Keeping balance and equilibrium. Like being in control of yourself, your journey, and where you take it or what you decide to do with it. Moderation can sometimes talk about equal give and take and balance too, right? I believe so. Because it's like this feeling of you want balance, you want things to be healthy, like to have a healthy balance. You don't want to overdo something, right? Likewise, you don't want to be selling yourself short with something. It's all about equilibrium, moderation, healthy, happy balance. Well, sometimes we got to keep a healthy, happy balance and moderate the things, people, places, and situations in our life that are kind of like imbalanced. We want to make sure that there's equal give and take in all aspects, and that there's a healthy equilibrium in no matter what we're doing or who we're involved with, right? And that does take, it does take self-control. I hope I'm explaining this right, because it's kind of like, it's like, how do you apply moderation to people, right, in your life? In a sense. Or self-control in regards to people in your life, like, and things in your life in general. People, places, and things in your life. It does feel like a taking back control of those things that were not in your favor, or not working out in your favor, or they were out of balance and not in your favor. That's what that feels like. And we have to moderate these things. Self-care, self-control, sure. Okay, I'll give an example. Self-control can be a part of self-care, right? Let's say there's a bucket of ice cream, right, that I really like. Self-control, moderation would say only have one scoop, right? Not eat half the gallon. Because eating half the gallon might give me an upset stomach. And eating half the gallon is not self-care if it's going to give me an upset stomach. You see what I'm saying? And that kind of applies to, can apply to everything in our life. We could be overdoing something. We could be overextending ourselves to people, places, and things too much, that we got to take back control. Moderate, right? Moderation. A little. You could do a little. You don't have to like overextend. Overextending yourself to people, places, and things is not self-care. It's not moderation. It's imbalance. And it's not self-control. Because if it was self-control, you would be able to say no to that half gallon of ice cream, and you would be able to say no to the people, places, and things who have demands on your time and energy. I hope it makes sense now. Anyway, so let's see. Let's get two more. Okay. All right. So reassessment. Yep. Yep. That makes sense to me too. That's all part of it. You got to reassess what's not working, what's working and what's not working. Make adjustments as needed. Make those changes as needed. Reassess what can stay and what can go. Right? Reassess what deserves to stay in this next chapter of your life. Or not. Or what can go, right? What can stay and what can go. That's about the wheel. Shifting and changing and turning things and dropping things off the wheel of fortune, right? Something's got to fall off the wheel. Oftentimes when we're heading into a new chapter of our life or journey, we got to reassess what's worth staying or what's keeping and what needs to get thrown out. Makes sense with the full moon energy. All right, one more. Final purge is something I just heard. This is the final purge of those things. But it's all to make space for new things to enter with the Ace of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. These things that you're making space to allow in are actually part of your future destiny trajectory and what's meant for you with the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Wow. So there you go. Centered and balanced. This is all, again, this is all about finding that happy equilibrium in your life. Making adjustments where needed to make sure you have that. Balance of mind and heart as well. Mind with the Knight of Swords, heart with the Knight of Cups. This is all about you finding your equilibrium, making adjustments, setting healthy boundaries, saying no, choosing what stays and what goes, right? All to help you move into this next chapter of your journey, which is going to welcome those things that now are matching the version of you with the world that you have leveled up to become. So I'm going to grab a final oracle card for you. I'm going to use the Priestess of Light Oracle. And then I'm going to grab the dice for angel numbers as well. The final oracle card for you for this full moon in Scorpio. May 15th into the 16th. Final oracle card. Whoa, that's way too many. I'm going to read directly from the book. I only need one card. Just one card. Oh, okay. It's just shot from my hand. All right, so it says innovation, new creations. That falls in line with the Ace of Wands. Again, this is about you moving forward with new ideas, new inspirations. This is about the initiation with the Ace of new things, right? And welcoming those new things into your journey. All right, and moving forward with them and not letting anything or anyone talk you out of it. So let's see what it says. Innovation. Those look like, I don't know if those are owls or hawks. But if they're owls, then that falls very much in line with the High Priestess too. But anyhow, let's see what it says. The priestess of the mind extends her hands upward, the light from her palms sending two hawks flying in opposite directions. Beautiful golden orbs hover over and around her head, marking a time of great confidence and mental activity for you. Whoa, hold on here. Knight of Swords, mental activity. Chariot, charge ahead with confidence, right? Marking a time of great confidence and mental activity for you. You are being guided by spirit to explore new directions of invention and creation. Whoa. Your invention may come in the form of a wide variety of endeavors, such as a new business, a medical discovery, a new computer game, or the founding of a charitable agency. Anything from a musical composition to a real estate development could be among the types of innovations springing to your mind at this time. You may even be thinking about going to school for a special degree or certification. If so, know that you are certainly capable of achieving it. Absolutely, right? Because the thing is that if spirit inspired you with something, with the Ace of Wands, the divine spark is speaking to you, right? Your intuition also is sparking in you and speaking to you. You almost have to eventually follow through with it, or it'll nudge you or bug you and you won't be able to sleep on it. You have to eventually take action, right? Inspired action with the Ace of Wands and move in the direction of your idea, project, or whatever it was that spirit inspired you with. So yeah, that definitely makes sense. You may find yourself conflicted as you consider two very different paths, both brimming with potential. Now, remember when I said in the beginning how you could be fighting with yourself? One aspect of yourself might be saying this, and then another part might be saying, well, what about this instead, right? Or you might say one thing within yourself, and then somebody else might come around to contradict what you're saying, or try to talk you out of it, right? The Chariot has two horses. They have different minds, but the charioteer, right, is the one who brings them together towards a forward focus. One horse wants to go one way, another horse wants to go another way, but it's about harnessing the energy of both aspects of self and moving forward in a single file direction. So that very much does fall in line with what I was feeling, how, you know, one part of you might say this, another part of you might fight and say something else. And it's like trying to figure that out. But the thing is, the high priestess here is saying you have, like, you know what it is that you need to do. Your heart says, again, your heart might say one thing, your mind might say another with these two cards. But your intuition in the middle of all that knows what to do. Okay? So anyhow, you may find yourself conflicted as you consider two very different paths, both brimming with potential. The hawks, birds of prey, and war represent the inner battle. Look at that, regarding your choices. Whoa. Okay, that's, yeah, totally in alignment. But your confusion is only preventing you from taking action in either direction. That's a possibility. We can stifle ourselves. We can stagnate ourselves. And that's why the Chariot is saying, have more confidence in yourself to move forward, right? With whatever it is that you've chosen or decided. And I said that in the beginning. And we just got to get to that place where we're able to listen to our inner being and trust, because it's always speaking to us, right? With the high priestess energy. A nagging voice of self-doubt. Look at that. Oh my gosh. How much more aligned could this be? Maybe keeping you on the fence, but note how the priestess's heart center glows with confidence. You look at that. Jeez. It says this card is saying that you now have the power. Ace of Wands. Remember, I was feeling that energy of empowerment, magic, and like setting a healthy boundary, right? Being more empowered. It says this card is saying that you now have the power, with the Ace of Wands basically, to make a decision and see it through. Oh my gosh, it's like word for word. I said follow through, right? With what you've decided. Well, this is wild. But anyway, I'll keep going. Yeah, sometimes the synchronicity, even in my own readings, like always blows my mind. Trust in yourself and let yourself receive the guidance and information all around you. Again, intuition. Your mind is sparking with the lights of new ideas. The divine creative spark. Ace of Wands, right? Listen to your heart. Oh my gosh. Knight of Cups follows his heart, right? Listen to your heart about which path to follow. Affirmation. I open my mind to the pipeline of new ideas available to me now. I know I am capable of both initiative and follow through. And I did say, here's the initiation of it. Moving you in the direction of what's meant for you. Following your heart, moving forward with your choice or your focus with the Knight of Swords, trusting your intuition to direct you, right? So you can put something behind you and move forward with these intuitive nudges and inspirations and take inspired action in the direction of them. And as soon as you do, you set the stage for a whole world of change to open up to you, to put you on the path with the Wheel of Fortune of what's destined for you. So let's see what angel numbers come up for this reading. If you're not familiar with my channel, I do roll the dice for angel numbers to get additional messages via the numbers. These angel numbers, once interpreted, the number meaning may confirm some things I've already said in this reading. That happens a lot. Or it may provide you personally with something you needed to know for yourself. I don't give you a source to look up the number because I want you to take the journey to find your own magic. Sometimes when we're put on the path to research something for ourselves, we come across other synchronicity and serendipity that Spirit needs us to find. If I gave you a shortcut to the number interpretation, I might rob you of that experience. I don't want that to happen. Likewise, I always tell everybody not to put the number interpretation in the comment section for the same reason. We don't want to rob anybody of that experience of finding their own magic. Again, those confirmations that we get from Spirit, whether it be through signs, synchronicity, or whatnot, they're very important to the journey. So again, we want everybody to find their own. Let's see what numbers come up for this full moon in Scorpio. That is a 9. 9. 6, and a 5. So 965 is your angel number. Go ahead and look at that number, see what it brings to you. I want to say congratulations, right? You have totally leveled yourself up in such a magical way with this full moon, and this full moon is going to show you that, right? Congratulations, you've leveled up in a major way, and now you're being put on the path to things that are yours and your divine birthright. Okay, so have confidence in yourself to make the right choices and move forward with these things with confidence. Okay, listen to your heart, your intuition. Your inner being knows what to do at all times. Set healthy boundaries where needed, right? Reassess the things that matter, right? And move forward. Move forward feeling bold and confident in where spirit is leading you. So with all that being said, much love to you, everyone. Take care. Keep shining, right? I always say that, keep shining. Don't hide your light under a rock for anyone or anything, okay? If you feel that this reading has helped and connected for you, please do let me know in the comment section down below. Like, share, and subscribe to support this channel if you want to take it a step further to support what I do. You can check out the links below in the description box. My Etsy store is there. I have handmade crystal jewelry amongst other things that I make by hand. Pay me a visit to support my channel that way if you wish. Much love to you. Take care. Again, always keep shining, and happy full moon.